How we doing out there? First things first, my name is Kenneth Bird. My company is Crystal Edge Technology Screens. We are set up today with the big boy inflatable, and we learned some new things today. So this is what we learned today. I told you that the inflatable surfaces are really hard to be able to coat. They have issues. So the first time we did it with the black side first, because as I said before, we have that invisible coating technology that allows us to be able to convert any black surface and turn it into an OLED screen. Allows it to produce amazing white levels and beautiful colors, and of course the contrast is going to be incredible as always. So we did the back side of it, the white side of it, with the phantom gunmetal. And this is what I said before about when it comes to these inflatable screens, they have this interesting surface that does not marry well with paint. Now this one actually it actually fused to the surface, but still had issues. And one of the issues you're going to have is the fact of folding the screen up, setting it up again, because this is a screen that's going to be designed to be deflated and inflated over and over and over again, and you're going to develop maybe lines or cracks that may occur in the screen. So the front part is using the invisible coating that we attach to the screen. That has no problem at all. We can fold this up over and over again, no cracks, no peels, nothing. The other side, on the other hand, poses the issue. So this is what we picked after coating the surface with the gunmetal. You see those marks right there that are coming up on the screen? This is why I advise to that individual, before putting your application, and this is from years of experience, I've been to this before, of putting your application on a screen of that caliber and that size, to make sure you go over and touch that surface first to make sure it's not one of the two things. Usually it's very hard to coat these surfaces. So this one actually had a particular different blend of PVC, and I thought it was going to marry well, but this is what we picked up. So everything painted well, but the minute we went to pick up the screen and to fold it and then unfold it over and over again to test it, we got these marks. And this is going to pop up all over the screen. So it shows you at the end of the day, it's very hard to coat one of these surfaces. What we had to do was we had to develop a formula, as we did the first time. That's that invisible black technology that we make, that we spray on the gamer screens. We get on the that's the same application we put on the gamer screens, and the same application that we put on for the acoustic screens. It's a black invisible coating, attaches to the surface. We never have to worry about the stuff cracking or peeling or having any issues. It marries perfectly. The thing about it is, it has to be coated to a black surface only in order to get the OLED effect. That's how it works. So, as long as we coat the back end of the screen, perfect, no problem whatsoever. If we try to coat the front of it with the other paint, issues left and right. So that's why I was trying to help him out and give him a bit, even though, like I said, from day to day, this guy has some issues and problems. We all know that. But at least I try to help him out a little bit, you know what I mean? Because that's a $20,000 projection screen right there. I mean, he's looking at a very expensive screen. And if he had put his application on there, keep in mind, we're in November, so the weather right now is pretty good. When it gets around summertime, the heat can get underneath that paint and cause it to buckle and ripple. And basically at the end of the day, when you go to fold that screen up, it could be saturation or something, or it could be wet under the screen. And when you fold it up, it could stick and rip. That's one of the issues you can fall into. The other part you might fall into is this effect right here, where it's going to have all kinds of marks. I don't know if you can see this, that are going to come up on the screen. That's something else. And somebody can sit there and say, oh, well, no, it's just your product. No, no, no. They all do that. I had that problem when I was developing those great screen paints too. We painted PVC and had the same freaking issue. Now, the funny thing about it is the PVC that you get on your fixed frame screens, if you were to take that apart and you were to roll that up, that would stick automatically. That's why when you get the screen, the first one you get the screen, you notice a tissue paper in between the screen. So, but that's a screen. A fixed frame screen is something that you're going to have up on the wall. You're not going to be taking it down over and over and over again. That's not something you're going to do. But this right here, yeah, I can see right now, I'm going to probably have to put, now see, one thing I don't like about this, they put the anchors right here. See, they put the anchors right here? They should have had the anchors at the very top too. Because if the wind blows, the screen is going to fold a little bit. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to attach my own anchors from here and lock it down to there. That's what I'm going to have to do to make sure it stays secure. Because another thing too, when you have the screen set up, wind's going to hit the back of this thing and it's going to basically start rocking back and forth. So how we have this secure, we got our buckets here filled with our bricks. Some people fill these with cement. Bad idea. Don't fill them with cement, just in case if you want to move the screen. Now you got this heavy bucket of cement you got to drag across your driveway or wherever you have it at. Just fill it up with some bricks and be done with it. So it's tasseled there. In the back, you got it tasseled back here. Make sure you got plenty of room for the blower or the compressor right there, air or blow, whatever. Keep this filled up. You got it attached here. See how it's folded here like this? Because when the wind hits it, this is going to pull a little bit this way. So I'm going to have to take some string, come around here and attach it to there. Because it should have been one at the top. I don't know why they put this in the middle. That was kind of stupid. So we'll put one up here at the top right here. Now, these are not for sale. We don't have them on the website. We actually, these are seasonal screens. This is a screen that has to be sprayed outside. So we don't do these. Maybe one of the other contractors will pick it up. In the back, you got another part right here that locks in. I don't like the ones that come with the pegs and the ones that stick into the ground. Because like I said, if you get a good gust of wind, this thing's could rip right out. So I like filling my buckets up and doing it that way instead. If I want to tighten it up a little bit, I just turn the bucket and that basically keeps it nice and tight. Turn one this way, turn one that way. It'll keep it nice and tight. But other than that, yeah, so that's what I was explaining to you. That, see, our surface didn't crack or peel, but it did crack. But it didn't peel, but we got these marks right here. And I don't know what it is about the surface that comes with the inflatable screens. They do not marry well. One of the other problems they have with the front and rear. Can't coat the front and rear. Because the front and rear, you constantly have light pushing through the screen. So what happens is, even if you have a 5,000 lumen projector, you got light passing through the screen back and forth, it's going to cause the image to fade out. I went through that, I painted the screen, put it out on the front porch, came up really faded with a 42. Went there, took a piece of cardboard, put it behind the back of the screen. The image showed up crystal clear. That's when we realized we can't coat this on our front and rear screen. That's why you got to do your testing before you start making announcements, so you know exactly how it's going to marry and how it's not going to marry. But showing off a screen of that size, like I said, I'm not hating on a man. I mean, if he wants to go do it and knock himself out, but I'm telling him from experience that it's not something you want to do, because at the end of the day, if that screen happens to crack or peel or anything happens, and that screen, that's a $20,000 projection screen. At the end of the day, they're not going to pay for that. He's going to have to pay for that. He's going to have to fix that. And you're going to have some paint that's going to stay on it, and some paint is going to be a messy situation. He's going to have to remove all that paint off a screen that size. Think about that. So like I said, before you go over and make announcements like that, I would have went over and touched the material and said, okay, test it out. Let me get a little sample of that. Let me take it down to the house. Let me test it. Let me see what happens. That's what you should have did first. That's a mature way of doing it. Because at the end of the day, you can't paint that screen. Inflatables are a pain in the neck to do. You know what they should do? I mean, for me, when we start designing ours, I'm changing my whole scenery. I'm changing mine completely. One, we're going to do away with the power plug. Because they do make them where you don't have to have power constantly all the time. Those are the ones they make for pools and for different events. But they're very expensive. It's like an air mattress. They're made the same way. They got the compressor. Some have a battery unit in the back of them. But yeah, I'm going to get one. The ones we're going to design, because these are easy to make. I had a friend of mine. She makes clothes and stuff like that. She looked over this. I mean, anybody who makes clothes can pretty much make one of these things right here. So she pretty much sized out what we need to do, how it needs to be stitched, how it needs to be put together. So we have to take it to a person who pretty much knows what they're doing when it comes to basically a seamstress or whatever making this stuff. So how we're going to do ours are basically going to have, where you blow it up one time and that's it. Because having a power cord constantly running back and forth to run this thing is a headache. So don't want that. The other thing I do want to change on it is I don't like the fabric of the surface. I do like the clips. I love the clips. I don't like Velcro. Because with the Velcro, you got to get it right perfectly in those little corners. All the way across. It has to be perfectly flat. If you don't, you're going to get a ripple line here and a ripple line there. Where somewhere where the Velcro kind of looped a little bit, or you got more of a gap in there, you're going to have that issue right there from the door. The clips are much better, because the clips, all you do is just lock them in, lock, and you're done. That's it. Very easy to do. Allows plenty of air to flow around it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I like these better. So when we do ours, I know exactly how to get the clips in, and we're going to have somebody make our screens for us. That's what we're going to do. And I'm going to make mine so I can actually tell you the truth, I'm just going to make mine pre-coated. I want to have my surface already pre-coated into my own surface. Might as well. Yeah. Let me just make them for an affordable price so everybody can afford. So it's 2 o'clock right now, so I'm too early for this right now. So I'm going to be going back in the house and getting something to eat. But I just want to update you on what we're going to be doing. Ooh, ooh, ooh! That's the big boy screen right there. There's Phoenix out there. Don't worry, Phoenix. Don't worry. We got you, buddy. You're gonna be on today. We might have 2 projectors running today. I might have one running here and one running over here. I don't know. All right, people. Well, that's basically about it. So now you know. So if you ever get her a screen paint, well, you gotta buy her a screen paint, and you decided to do an inflatable screen, I gotta put that too. Now I gotta turn around. I gotta put that into the product page because it should be in there for inflatable screen. So I'll put that today on what you can't paint this on. But yeah. So at least we know already from the door. You know, it's always good to test, just to make sure, and then show your results. Some people don't want to show the results because they want to make it sound like their screens have no flaws or anything. You have to be to show that what's going to happen. I thought it was going to go well. I really did. I really thought it was going to go well because, like I said, we painted it, no peeling, no problem. Folded it up, no problem. Then I came back downstairs. I saw the lines. I'm like, ooh, this is not good. This is not marrying too well. But the one we have in the front, the original one, married perfectly to the surface. So that's the one we're going to use. But we might use invisible phantom technology. I think I'm going to recoat this with invisible phantom technology. I'm going to go over it again. We're going to make it darker than this. We're going to use invisible phantom technology on it. That's what I'm going to use next. So this is going to get another job. All right. Well, hope the Wi-Fi picked up well. I did turn my Wi-Fi off, did I not? Let me see. Your Wi-Fi's off. Oh, man. Just cut the grass. All right. Got to go. Thank you all. God bless.